Just the least whimsical man of all time trying to steer this ship. Well, hello out there, you seekers of plastic camaraderie, and welcome to my channel, where I sit and talk about dolls. Sometimes it's Barbie, sometimes it's Illy, sometimes it's Monster High, sometimes it's a Disney princess. You get the point. Must I carry on? If she's made of plastic and looking for a home, then she's welcome here. Because basically I make questionable financial decisions with dolls, but justify it by calling it content. My name is Daniel, and I am the Barbie Book Boy. So I woke up today and I chose whimsy, because why not? The world's a mess, everything is scary, and none of us is safe. So I decided to escape to Under the Sea, which is ironic because this doll is obviously a Mermaid High doll. The premise of which is 4 mermaid friends who escape the ocean for life on land. I guess the grass really is greener on the other side. Or whatever the aquatic version of that expression is. The wave is always bluer on the other side? Anyway, today I'm unboxing my Mari Deluxe Mermaid High doll. And I will be taking a deep dive, pun intended, into what happened with this failed franchise. So let's see what she knows. Okay, first off, why didn't this franchise work? The concept is solid, it followed the formula, it had all the cheesy mermaid puns your heart could desire. I mean, it worked for Monster High and Ever After High and Rainbow High, and the descendants of Disney villains also went to high school, not to mention Zombies and Unicorn Academy. So really, Mermaid High seems like a total no-brainer. It should have worked, but it didn't. After only 12 episodes, it was canceled. And legend has it that this failed franchise is the result of mismanagement by the suits at Spin Master Toys. Picture Will Ferrell and his band of finance bros in the conference room of the Barbie movie. And that's what I imagine happened here. Just the least whimsical man of all time trying to steer this ship. But my good Judy Google also told me that it had a lot to do with production and design issues. So apparently original, more detailed prototypes were rejected by Spin Master because they appeared too old. So this led to rushed multiple redesigns that removed the fun from the dolls. Another factor was poor sales and high costs. The dolls were considered expensive for the value they offered, leading to weak market performance. And speaking of marketing, a lack of marketing. Spin Master provided minimal advertising, which resulted in low consumer awareness. And then there were retail issues. So due to the long, troubled design process, the dolls were delayed, making retailers hesitant to stock or promote them. And so that's why this series barely managed to coast along for one measly year before sinking faster than a ship hitting an iceberg. Too soon? You didn't have anything to do with that, did you? But for me, someone who doesn't have to dig too deep to find the whimsy in most things, seriously, all of my free time is devoted to fantasy realms. I think she's mermazing. And yes, I stole that pun directly from the very first YouTube episode of Mermaid High. Moving on. So this character's name is Mari, and she's one of 4. And starting with her box, you can see that they clearly nailed the aquatic theme. This box is all blues and greens, and it's got these pretty little glitter dot bubbles. And they styled the word mermaid here with this luxurious mermaid tail. Basically, it's exactly the same as the logo for the show. Also, they made sure to let us know that this gal is versatile. She can go from mermaid to landlubber with the snap of one wardrobe malfunction. See, here she is here in all of her sassy humanness. So in the window on the front, you can see that Mari is like swimming on by. And we get a glimpse here of her tail fin, which if you've seen my video on the 1991 Mermaid Barbie, you know I'm quite particular about mermaid tail fins. But we'll see soon enough. Moving on. On the back, you see this beautiful high gloss image of Mari and all of her little mermaid friends that escaped the ocean with her to go to high school. So the characters are Finley, Ciara, Oceana, and then Mari down here at the bottom. And just real quick, I'll read. So it says, dive deep into the world of Mermaid High. An oceanside school named after legendary tales of mermaid sightings, 4 new students are making serious waves with their unique style and outrageous personalities. But they've got a big secret. They're actually mermaids. Real mermaids at Mermaid High? Yep. But you've never seen mermaids like this before. Fins, fashion, and friendship as deep as the ocean. MFFs for Evs, Mer Friends Forever. Also on the back, it says that her shell accessory opens in water. So we're gonna have to for sure give that a try. Okay, it's time to fish this lady out of her lobster cage and see what she knows. We'll be right back. And here she is out of her box. And the first thing I want to say to the good folks over there at Spin Master is that if you ever produce any more dolls, keep the packaging down to a shout, because I had to treat her box like I never wanted to see it again. Moving on. So the character of Mari is the singer of the group, but don't be fooled by her smooth vocals, because she's also the sarcastic one. She's super opinionated and can be slightly salty. That's sea salty, if you don't mind. As the crabby one in the group, her overall look is described as metal and mesh. So starting with her signature tentacle crown, Mari has these straight, blunt bangs that are glued down to within an inch of their life. And she has this long, luxurious, lavender violet colored hair, and it's so thick and long. It's a bit box hair messy, but I can work on that. I'll fix it. It's real pretty. You know, I gotta say, these bangs, while probably being such a huge commitment with hair this long, they're probably pretty convenient when she's splashing around the ocean in her mermaid form. Because let's face it, as a mermaid, it's just required that she has insanely long hair. It's a mermaid thing. It's cultural. What are you going to do? But excusing the box hair, it's nice. I'm not good at deciphering doll hair, so I can't exactly tell you what this fiber is, but I know it's not Kanekalon, which I'm happy about because Kanekalon hair tends to get super brittle and dry, even for a gal who spends as much time in the water as she does. Moving on. Mari has a gorgeous screening with these big old bright blue eyes that she's lined in the same lavender color as her hair. Also, it's in her brows, but you can't really see it because they're covered by her bangs. But she decided to break up all of that lavender with a hot pink lip. By the way, excuse my gnarly hands right now. I'm doing some work around the house, tearing up floors and blah, 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 blah. So my hands are a little beat up right now. You understand. Anyway, so Mari wears this blue fishnet top, both as a mermaid and in her human form on the show, which just Velcros in the back here for convenience for me as her human handler. I wonder if that's some sort of political or social commentary. A mermaid wearing fishnet. She's also got this adorable pink starfish on like a metal choker, which is so punk rock. It's so Mari. Oh, Mari, you're so edgy. And a wrist full of little bangle bracelets. Moving on. In keeping with her edgy aesthetic, Mari's tail is this blue and purple mix with these silver chain belt details that has this like cute little lock down here. The chains are giving very Jacob Marley. Wait, do mermaids have ghost stories? Why isn't that a movie yet? A sunken pirate ship being haunted by ghost mermaids as a group of treasure hunters tries to like pillage the sunken booty. Make it happen, Hollywood. I'm sure someone's probably already done that by now. Anyway, her tale of bondage ends in this fluffy tail fin of like iridescent plasticky fabric and lots of mesh tulle, which brings me to air swimming. As you may already know, air swimming for me is paramount to the play experience. I'm very particular on this note. And it irks me to no end when these toy companies and these toy designers try to get too kooky with the mermaid tail fins. I don't like it when they complicate something that should really be fairly simple. I just like the fins to have some fluidity. I mean, these are mermaids after all. So when it comes to mermaid tails, I actually tend to prefer something like this, like something that can actually swim away. But as I hold this pretty little plastic gal in my hands, I gotta say, I don't have the highest of hopes for these tail fins. But let's see. Here goes. They're bulky, they're heavy, they're inconsistent, they don't really uniformly air swim very well. This side's going all crazy. This side's not doing much of anything. Her hair is trapped in her fins. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Well, considering all of this insane fabric nonsense, that's about what I expected from her. And look, I still love her. I think she's a beautiful doll. She just probably wouldn't be the first girly that I would grab when I go to play mermaids. But we must still consider her human form. So I'm going to change her into her human clothes and I will be right back. And here she is in all of her punk rock human glory. And now that she's shed her mermaid tail like a snake, I guess this is as good a time as any to talk about articulation. So she's got head, shoulders, elbows, hips, and knees. And if you've seen my videos, you might know how I feel about too much articulation. I like a nice stiff doll, one that just doesn't move. I don't need them doing all kinds of acrobatics for me. So this amount of articulation is more than enough for me. Okay, so let's talk about her human outfit first. So in place of her tail, she is rocking this pleather micro mini skirt with painted on tentacles and this safety pin feature. Then she went and threw on these sassy little knee socks. But in the pictures online, and the pictures on the front of her box, you'll see that her knee socks have these little stripes at the top. So what happened here? What happened to mine? Why didn't we get stripes? I was kind of a little bummed out about that. But she stuffed her little stockinged human feet into these purple platform chunky heel shoes, which for someone with not a lot of experience walking on human legs kind of seems like unnecessarily dangerous footwear. But that's our Mari, ever the edgy diva. Speaking of edgy, on to her accessories. Check out her totally punk rock purse. It's got a tentacle for a handle and then a mermaid skeleton on it. Her purse isn't technically functional, which I guess is okay because frankly, it's a little bit too small for her shell hair comb or her Mermaid High student ID card, which if you look closely, you'll see that it has all of the essential information for school administrators to properly identify her as an actual student. So it says her mer style is metal and mesh. Her favorite school subject is math. Her favorite food is squid ink pasta. Her pet is a sea urchin named Sharkira, like Sharkira, Shakira, Sharkira. Her mer power is hypnotic vocals. Her favorite color is dark purple, and her ocean catchphrase is new shell phone. Who dis? She's got some purple shades here that I think are supposed to be like mimicking the waves of water here around the edge, but I'm not sure. And last but not least, although if it doesn't work the way it's supposed to, it will certainly become the least, Mari's shell-shaped laptop computer that once dropped in hot water is supposed to open and reveal a surprise. So let's give this a whirl and see what secret computer activity Mari's been up to. Okay, so I've got a glass of hot water here. This is just from my tap. I didn't boil it or anything. So let's drop her computer in here and see what's hidden. Here goes nothing. That sprung open so fast. Okay, so here is the little shell computer that popped open when I dropped it in hot water. It's got this picture of Mari's home screen here and then the cute little keyboard. And inside the computer was this little mystery bag. So let's pop it open and see what the surprise is. Okay, so inside the mystery bag were Mari's earrings, which I think are supposed to be like little shark teeth. And I'm surprised I didn't catch that when I first opened her and was looking at her and didn't realize that she wasn't actually wearing her earrings. But here they are, so I'm gonna pop them on and see how they fit. All right, so here's one of her little shark tooth earrings, and I gotta say, they don't fit very well. I had a difficult time getting it in, and it kept falling out with just every little flick of her hair. So it could probably benefit from maybe some super glue, but I'll get that figured out at some point. All right, so there you have it. The Mari Deluxe doll from the doomed Mermaid High franchise. A doll pretty accurate to the character from a show that nobody seems to remember, but I'll always think of them fondly. And for better or worse, we can still watch the one lonely little season on YouTube. And who knows, maybe someday Mermaid High will get a second win and we'll see a whole new line of these dolls being released. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today as I liberated yet another plastic pal from her cardboard cage. I'm going to be doing these little doll reviews weekly, so if this is your thing, then stay tuned. Also, if you're into books, be sure to go check out my videos on book reviews. I am, after all, the Barbie book boy. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Leave a comment telling Mari what mermaid adventures you would have liked to have seen if her show hadn't been canceled. Tell me if you were into this series at all, or if you have any of these dolls. Until next time, stay hydrated and keep your fin up. Bye!